This week on The Splash, football, family, and fun, grocery runs, and later exploring the outdoors. The Splash is a production of Civic TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, also that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Welcome to The Splash. I'm Jake Kustasz, and as always, thank you for joining us. West Bloomfield High School's football season is underway, and they held a special kickoff event for families in the community. I stopped by the school to check out the celebration. Hi, I was hiding under the bleachers at West Bloomfield High School, where the Family Fun event was taking place for their football season home opener.
Basically, this is our kickoff for the 2019-2020 school year. We've been doing this for 9 years, and it's just a way to kick off West Bloomfield schools and community and come together just to get together and enjoy each other and have fun.
West Bloomfield, greater West Bloomfield, is just a fantastic place to live, to go to school, to work, and it's a high quality in terms of services. And so the PTOs and the community leaders came together and said, yeah, we can do this. We can put on just a fun event, have it be kid-oriented. Nobody's selling anything. We're just expect everybody to have a good time tonight. And
it's amazing. And every year it gets bigger and more families come out, and it's just an amazing free community event for everyone in our community. Kids from preschool age all the way up through high school, and even families that experienced it as seniors that are now starting their own families in the beginning have come back. And it's just amazing to see them, and they remember how it started, and seeing how it grows is just amazing.
Besides bringing food and fun for families, the event also had one more purpose, and that was to celebrate those who keep us safe.
So we have our police, our fire department, we even have our military and our first responders come, and it's just amazing. We even have the K-9 unit come, and they walk around, and the kids are able to approach them and pet them, and just to get to know the people that take care of us, that make sure that everything's safe in our community. And this is also a way that we acknowledge them and say thank you for helping us out and just keeping West Bloomfield and the area community safe.
The people I interviewed had one more thing to say.
Go Lakers!
Go Lakers!
The event was a hit for everybody in the community, especially the families. And I wish my family could have come, but they all declined my invitation. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Jake Kustasz. You can find more information at our website at civiccentertv.com/WBFamilyFun. Get your groceries and go. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital hosted a special cooking class, and Jenna Skalski visited to get the story.
Hey guys, we're here at the Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, where expert chefs are coming in and sharing their tips and tricks on how to eat healthy on a budget. The class is called One Grocery Run and Done. Let's find out why.
We're doing a class here called One and Done, and that means that you take one bag of groceries and you get multiple meals out of that, with the easiest prep that we could come up with. And we have our chefs here that are going to make some delicious, healthy recipes. One of them is a take on lasagna using some different types of noodles and lots of vegetables. And another one is actually using a pasta sauce on zucchini noodles.
As easy as it is to make a variety of dishes from the same ingredients, it does require a bit of planning to see what you might be missing in your diet.
I would say anywhere you can add more vegetables and whole fruits in your diet, that's what you want to focus your energies on. And it does take a little bit of planning, but definitely can be done. That we just want to show you can eat healthy on a budget, and also not only a budget for money, but also for your time, because we're all so busy.
The Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital offers a wide range of cooking classes regularly to suit the needs of the community.
Well, we host cooking classes probably 2 to 3 times a month here in our demonstration kitchen. And we have all different topics, just ranging from like tonight's topic, One Grocery Run and Done, to crock pots, Instapots, and air fryers, which is coming up in October. We also have classes around diabetes, heart health, really a host of topics, all designed to help keep people healthy and teach them healthy habits.
With the public's health in mind, the hospital offers resources that go beyond saving your wallet.
We do host a lot of community events here at the hospital. We are a community center for health and well-being. Our demonstration kitchen is just one place that we host these events. For instance, coming up next week, we have an emergency preparedness expo. Later this fall, we have a senior health and wellness expo, all hosted here at the hospital. That's just a couple of the things we have. But we have so many things, so I really encourage people to check out our website, henryford.com/West Bloomfield. You can learn all about our classes and events and programs and our resources.
All right, guys, what I learned in class today was to ditch the pasta for the zucchini noodles. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Jenna Skalski.
For more, you can visit civiccentertv.com/groceryrun. Later in the show, we get a special look at Apple Island, as well as a wild interview with Mike McKinstry.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
This hour of programming is brought to you in part by Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. 10 years ago, Henry Ford Health Systems celebrated the grand opening of its West Bloomfield Hospital. Since then, they've celebrated innovative new technologies, medical breakthroughs, and unique approaches to health and healing. To learn more about Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital, visit henryford.com/West Bloomfield 10. Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital is a proud sponsor of Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. There's Friday nights on the gridiron, then there's This Week in Laker Football. Join Dave Scott and head coach Ron Bellamy as they talk about the last week's game, preview the upcoming matchup, and talk to some of your favorite players and your favorite people from West Bloomfield High School. Airing weekdays at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Civic Center TV and on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Jake Kustasz. Students in the West Bloomfield area got to take a very special trip to Apple Island and explore the historical island. Ryan Younglove brings us the story.
Recently, Gretschko Elementary's second grade classes went on their field trip to Apple Island, where they would plant a tree, which hasn't been done in many years on the island. The trip started off at the Historical Society, where the young students were given a brief lesson on the history of the area, along with the history of Apple Island. From there, the kids got on the bus and went to the launch site, where they took pontoon boats over to Apple Island. There, the kids were taught more history of the island and about the people that once lived there. They ventured down trails and saw the historical sites of the island. Finally, they got to the dig site, where an apple tree was planted and will stay for many years. The students were excited and look forward to seeing the tree grow in the years to come. This has been Ryan Younglove, reporting for The Splash.
To know more on this story, you can visit civiccentertv.com/WBSD Apple Island. Now it's time for the Civic Center TV event update, where we provide you with upcoming events around the greater West Bloomfield. For more events coming up, visit civiccentertv.com/events. Discuss. Anyone learning English and looking to improve their language skills is invited to join Let's Talk, an ESL discussion group. This group allows you to improve your English in a safe and fun environment. Also attending the group will be a tutor from the Oakland Literacy Council who will help facilitate the discussion. This group takes place Wednesday from 10 a.m. to noon, and for more info, visit westbloomfieldlibrary.org. Come to Henry's Market on Main. This market hosts a variety of fresh, locally grown produce, as well as baked goods, herbs, salsa, and many other delicious products, including free samples. Learn from expert chefs how to prepare a meal with the ingredients grown from Henry Ford's very own greenhouse. This market is open Wednesdays from 9 to 5 and is free and open to the public. For more information, go to henryford.com. Do you like stories and also like songs? Well, you're in luck thanks to Stories and Songs happening at the library. Every Thursday from 10 to 10:30 a.m., visit West Bloomfield Public Library for special dual language stories, as well as, you guessed it, songs. Admission is free, and for additional info, go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org. Dispose of prescription drugs with Operation Medicine Cabinet. happening year-round in West Bloomfield, Kegel Harbor, and Orchard Lake, and this takes place at the police departments of the 3 communities. Disposing of drugs is completely anonymous, open 24/7 in West Bloomfield, Tuesdays and Thursdays 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Kegel Harbor, and Monday through Friday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in Orchard Lake. For more information, visit oakgov.com or call your local police. Elders beware! The Elder Abuse Prevention Town Hall is happening Monday, September 30th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. at the Novi Public Library. This town hall is put on by Senator Jim Runstad and Attorney General Dana Nussel. For additional info, visit senatorjimrunstad.com/elderabuse-prevention. Books benefit babies' brains. Books and Babies is taking place at the library Fridays from 10:30 to 11 a.m. This group introduces babies to books in an effort to stimulate and improve brain development. Along with books, there will be puppets, rhymes, and finger plays. Go to westbloomfieldlibrary.org for more information on the event. And that's this week's highlights. You can find more events online at civiccentertv.com/events and see everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. We're going to take a short break, but when we return, I'll sit down with the Bassquatch Hunter himself, Mike McKinstry.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Kegel Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Laker football is live every Friday this fall on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and 89.3 Lakes FM. Tune in before every game kicks off at 7 p.m. for live analysis from Dave Scott and Tyler Kieft, and then another great Laker football matchup. You can listen on Civic Center TV, WBTV, and of course on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM and on the web on lakesfm.com.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm joined this week by Mike McKinstry, the host of Bassquatch Hunter TV. Mike, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
So Bassquatch Hunter, what is that? What does it mean?
So it's kind of a nickname that I established over the years. Is I used to go fish. I've been fishing my whole life, and I used to go fishing with a certain group of friends, and we'd go out and try to target a certain species, mostly bass, like largemouth and smallmouth bass here in Michigan. And I always had a knack for finding the biggest fish of the day. And it was never the most fish or the prettiest fish even, but it was always the biggest one. So they always said it was kind of like the Sasquatch, like the one elusive big fish that you can never catch. And I always found a way to find it. Or someone would tell me there's a fish in this lake that we've never been able to catch. It's like a 23-inch bass, but no one could ever catch them, and I'd find a way to catch them. So they gave me the nickname, like I was the Bassquatch Hunter, and I just kind of found them all the time. And turned into a brand. So I just ran with it, and I try to keep the tradition going of finding the biggest fish.
So how do you get the biggest fish? Is there a special technique you use, or is it luck?
Both.
Both?
It's both. Okay. I'm not going to lie. Fishing is probably 70% luck.
Okay.
I break down the lakes based on moon phases, on barometer pressure, on water clarity, water temperatures. There's a lot that goes into bass behavior research. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's the right time, the right place kind of thing. Yeah. So it is a lot of luck involved in it too. But it's been working out somehow. Do you mostly focus on Michigan lakes? Or are you... right now, I kind of split my season up where I do half a season out of state so I can show the adventure and the traveling. Okay. But it always starts out with me in Michigan, leaving Michigan, going somewhere else, coming back to Michigan. Okay. The other half of the season, I focus mostly in my area of Michigan or really cool adventurous spots like northern Michigan or Lake Michigan, like really cool areas that people can see and understand why Michigan is such a great fishery. Yeah. So for your show, it started as a YouTube channel. Do you want to go into that and how you got started with all that? Yeah, so when I first started kayak fishing, so I fish out of a kayak. Okay. I was bass boat fishing for a long time, and there's always spots on certain lakes that I wanted to go that I couldn't get back into. It was too skinny, or there was tree stumps everywhere. Yeah. And I would destroy my boat motor trying to get back there. And I knew there was fish back there. That was the worst part. I could look back there and go, I know there's fish back there, but I can't get back there. Yeah. So after replacing a few props on my boat and some lower end units on my motor, I bought a kayak. And I went back there and I caught, at the time, was my personal best fish. It was the biggest fish I caught at the time. And it was my first time out in a kayak. And I was like, all right, this is incredible. Yeah. You can feel the fish bite. You can feel it pull. And I started telling my buddies about it. I was like, you have to get kayaks. This is so much better than a boat. There's no gas. I don't need a trailer anymore. Like, this is awesome. and they didn't believe me. Like, they didn't understand that a kayak, like, I can walk around in my kayak. I can stand up. I can go in 6-foot waves. They're a lot bigger than they used to be. So I had to find a way to show them. So I started videotaping it and putting a GoPro on my boat. And I started sharing it with my friends and just showing them. I never put it on YouTube. I would just say, look at this video. This is what my kayak's about. This is how it is. And then people were like, hey, show my buddy, show my friend. Hey, can you send this video? I was like, you know what? I'll start a YouTube channel. Like, I've never had a YouTube channel before. I'm like, let me start one so you guys can watch them. And then it turned into, I was shocked, like thousands of people started watching them. Yeah. And I was like, all right, this is something that people should know about, and I want to share with as many people as I can. Now I'm really passionate about it, and I want to get the biggest audience I can so I can impact others and get them in the sport too. And then it turned into this thing where people started asking for more videos and when's my next one, and they wanted to see more. So I just kept on growing the channel and growing the brand, and it's kind of put me where I am today. I still follow the same principle where I just want to reach a larger audience and inspire more people to do what they want to do and get out in nature and see how beautiful it is.
So how'd you get involved with Waypoint TV?
So Waypoint is actually a fun story. I was working a boat show. I work a lot of boat shows and do a lot of seminars and do appearances like that at fishing shows. And there was a guy walking around with a camera, and you could tell he was professional. Like, he had a full, nice production camera. And he was walking around the boat show, and he stopped and asked if he could interview me about kayak fishing. And we started talking, and he's like, hey, I own a production company in Ferndale. I love fishing. I love kayaking. I would love to work with you. He goes, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I have a YouTube channel. Here it is. So he watched a couple of videos, and he's like, let's make this a TV show. Okay. And I was like, how would we make a TV show? Like, how do you do that? Like, you can't just go like this and have a TV show. Exactly. So we started filming together and working together, and then he started pitching to networks for me, and we started doing research, and we chose Waypoint TV because of the versatility we have and the freedom we have. It gives us full control of our show. We have full content control. It's a free app you can download on your smart TV or phone, so it doesn't cost anyone money to watch the show, which I thought was appealing because the outdoor crowd isn't normally a very wealthy crowd, and, everyone's pretty budget conscious, so having a free platform to watch my show was really important to me, and then having control of my show where I can pretty much do whatever I want in my episodes as long as I meet the guidelines. So Waypoint TV was kind of a perfect home for my show, and they have a great following and a great audience, so it worked out really well.
So what are your plans for your show? What's the topic of your next episode going to be?
The next episode is going to air in a couple of weeks, and we actually did an episode with the Rookie of the Year NASCAR driver. Oh, wow. And we took him out in a kayak for his first time, got him on some really good fish, and I felt pretty confident because I was in my realm, and then we went go-kart racing after that. Oh, wow. How'd that go? And I was out of my realm, and definitely learned why this guy is who he is. And then we went to his NASCAR race after that. Okay. And he had a spectacular crash during the race, actually, like right in front of us. And we had the whole film crew. We were the first fishing show in the history of NASCAR to actually have licensing from NASCAR to film there. Oh, wow. So we filmed the whole race, and it's going to be an amazing episode. I'm really excited for that one to come out. But all of our episodes, we try to do adventures, where it's not just people going out fishing and talking about fishing. Okay. That's kind of the cookie-cutter platform and format that's been out for 50 years. So our show has no commercial breaks, so you don't have to leave the experience ever, and it's a storyline. It starts out from when we leave our house all the way till we come back to our house, and it's just the whole adventure, and there's always some kind of, like the NASCAR race, or I zip-lined over a gator swamp in Louisiana after I was done fishing. Oh, okay. We always try to include some kind of adventure from the area so people can understand how much fun this really is, and it makes people inspired to go do this on their own, too.
So are you still on YouTube as well, or are you only
Waypoint? I still do YouTube videos. I do instructionals on YouTube. Okay. They're called Squatch and Learn. I do little segments of teaching people tactics and what baits I use. I also post the episodes on YouTube about a month or two after the air. Okay. So after they have their time on the network, then I'll put them on YouTube so people can watch them there too. And I'll do a lot of live videos on YouTube every once in a while too, just to get people into the experience when I do something. And I do the same thing on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, speaking of Facebook, so you have a podcast as well that's coming up on a pretty big episode number.
Yeah, this Wednesday is episode 100. Oh, okay. That's the 100 weeks in a row that we've been doing this podcast. Wow. So we do it live on Facebook on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's on the Bassquatch Hunter TV Facebook page, and we talk about everything fishing. It's kind of like, I always joke and say it's kind of my therapy, because that's why I started it. I just wanted an outlet to talk to everybody at once and make it easier, and it started out, it used to be called Coffee with Bassquatch. We do it at 7 a.m. in the mornings, and then it got so big where people are like, hey, can we do this later in the day so we can watch it? Because we can't watch it live at 7 a.m. Yeah. So I started doing it later in the day, and now it's just called Bassquatch Hunter TV Live. And we talk about fishing techniques. We give away free baits or free products on every episode. We have giveaways. This week is episode 100, so we're giving away 15 things. We have 15 products we're giving away live on the air. And it's a great platform. People get to know each other and ask questions. And I mean, we've talked about everything from the fishing world to trucks, and we talk about whatever people want to talk about, and we go back and forth and answer questions.
What's the plan for episode 200?
Episode 200. If I make it to 200, hopefully it's going to be, we're doing episode 100 in a new location too, trying something new.
Okay.
So hopefully 200, if we make it to 200, it'll be a bigger platform, and I'm hoping we'll have a bigger studio and we can have more guests on board. We're going to start transitioning to having more interviews and stuff like that too.
Okay.
So if I do get another 100 episodes out, which I hope I do, then it's hopefully going to keep on evolving and keep on growing, but still keep the kind of real feel that we have now, where it's kind of me talking to everybody like a family.
Yeah.
So we consider ourselves, we have a private group called the Bassquatch, and it's like our private fan club, and we consider it a family. Like when someone's going through troubles, we all talk about it, and we're all very personal. So no matter how big we grow, we always try to keep that family mentality. So everyone can reach out, and people can message me at 3 a.m, and I respond. And I always try to keep that going no matter what.
Awesome. That's great. Well, thanks for talking to me today. Once again, you've been joined by Mike McKinstry, the host of Bassquatch Hunter TV. And on this week's episode of Parenting on the Go, we discuss the role of social workers.
Hi, welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Brooke Allen, and joining me today is Kristen Walters, social worker in the Walled Lake Consolidated School District, and Aaron Lawson, psychologist in the Walled Lake Consolidated School District. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And so tell me what the difference is between a social worker and a psychologist.
Well, in the school setting, social workers are trained mental health professionals with a master's degree in social work who primarily work with kids with significant needs in the area of social skills, behavior skills, and emotional regulation struggles.
Okay, and how about psychologists?
Psychologists are uniquely trained members of school teams. We're educated in learning, mental health, and behavior. So we contribute similarly, but we can also take a closer look at learning and how the brain functions and how that affects learning.
Okay, so why do we need school psychologists and social workers? Are they so similar, or do you just work collaboratively?
We often work collaboratively, and we often work with students with special education needs. However, we also work with the general population at times. Today, there are so many students who have lifelong disabilities, who have unmet needs and struggle with just daily challenges navigating through the school system. And those are the students we're kind of there to support when they have additional challenges and needs along the way in the learning environment.
And while our roles do overlap quite a bit, psychologists participate in comprehensive evaluations when students are suspected of having a disability. Child find is an integral part of our job, since the law requires school districts to identify students with disabilities and then provide appropriate programming. So psychologists are particularly involved in the design and development of those programs for those students.
So an IEP, is that something, is
yes,
that what you're talking
yes,
about?
Yes, thank you for
Okay.
asking. An individualized education plan, which is a program for students who are identified with special needs.
Okay, and that's something you're both involved in?
It depends on the disability area, but yes, typically we are both involved in that.
Okay.
Typically, yes. Social workers are mandated for emotional impairment evaluations as well as autism evaluations. However, if a team or the school personnel identify a specific need in an area, they may bring the social worker in on a student with a learning disability if they have needs above just their learning in the social, emotional, or behavior areas.
And the psychologist, kind of the same thing then?
Yep, psychologists have certain areas that we are mandated to be part of as well. Mostly we're involved in all of the evaluations, however, unless it is sometimes a reevaluation and students don't require a whole bunch of testing or evaluation. Again, we just make our evaluations when we're revisiting concise and meaningful so that we can write a new plan for the next year.
Right, because the IEP is good for 1 year, I think,
exactly.
Right? Okay. So what about like the family aspect of this? Do you work closely with family as well?
We both usually work closely with families. I often see students more long-term on a direct basis, so individually or in groups, to work on a variety of skill deficits, like maybe they struggle with anger management or coping skills or self-esteem. So in those aspects, I'm trying to work often with families to help support those skill growth in the home setting, because it works best when we are kind of working holistically with students. Additionally, sometimes I'm a point person in the school for families of the students that I work with.
So if they have a certain need or something's happening with a student that day, I may reach out to the family, or the family may reach out to me and say, my student needs a little extra support today. Can you check in with them or work on this area?
Okay, and then how about you?
Well, psychologists' role in schools differs from a clinical setting. So I don't provide ongoing therapy in the schools, but what I can do is provide crisis intervention and collaborate with other staff so that we can implement strategies that work for students, whether it's regard to learning or mental health. And then I also connect families with agencies and services outside of school, and often I'm a liaison for that. And basically I work in a consultative role a lot with administrators, teachers, social workers, and directly with students when they have significant needs.
So you're kind of on the front line and you're maybe a little bit behind the scenes.
Right.
Okay. So if a student or a parent needed you, how do they reach out?
Typically they would contact the school to ask, the child's school to ask. At times we often work with special ed, so they could also contact the special education department. But the quickest route would be just going through the child's school.
Okay, and then how about if there was, you mentioned crisis intervention, if someone was at that point or a student was at that point, they could find you?
Certainly, a parent can always reach out to the school and ask to have a conversation with their school psychologist or school social worker, and we can help guide them with what appropriate next steps might be.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a pleasure to talk to you and get to know the difference, because I think a lot of people out there don't really understand the difference between a social worker or a psychologist.
Right.
And students, you both play a major role with our students, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this episode of Parenting on the Go. And if you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org.
For more episodes of Parenting on the Go, visit civiccentertv.com/parentingtogo. Now it's time for our final segment, Person of the Week, where we celebrate the people in our community who are inspiring and providing towards others. This week's recipient is Lena Bowser. Lena is the focus of Lena's allergy movement and beyond. When she was not even a year old, she suffered an allergic reaction to an unknown food. At the time of this reaction, she was not aware of any allergies that she might have had. And as she grew older, she didn't want other children who suffered from unknown allergies to have to go through the same ordeal that she did. So Lena, along with the help of her parents, created Lena's Allergy Movement and Beyond. This organization helps spread awareness for unknown food allergies to help save lives and children everywhere. The organization sells bows, jewelry, and shirts that can be customized to list which allergies a child might have so they can better avoid it during their day-to-day. This resilience and dedication towards helping others is what makes Lena our Person of the Week. If you know someone who is making a positive difference, let us know and send us a message on social media or send an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate and acknowledge those making a difference in our community, and we appreciate any and all suggestions. Now that's it for this week's show. You can watch new episodes Monday at 5:30 p.m. at Civic Center TV on Comcast 15, AT&T 99, or online in HD at civiccentertv.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and on Instagram at Civic Center TV. For all our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Jake Kustasz, and thank you for watching The Splash.